We're looking at this deal. It's a 156 unit apartment community comprised of mainly townhomes. So we want to get a better idea of the market, the land and the location that this property is sitting on. First things first, I'm going to go over to Bird's Eye. We're going to type in the address, get report, boom. There's our report. We got some nice Google images here. Okay, nice, nice. First thing I want to see is total population. Now, this looks small. It's because it's the census tract. So, the census tract is smaller than a zip code, but bigger than a city block. So, it gives me the median age, middle aged, median income, almost 75K annually. That's pretty good. It seems like a somewhat of an affluent area. That income's a lot higher than some other areas that I've seen in Greensboro, so I would say that's a good thing. Median home value is 291,900, so that's far more than what we would be purchasing this deal as on a price per unit basis. Um, Plus with current interest rates, mortgage on that price is probably going to be considerably more than what we would be charging our tenants in rent, so that's good. If I wanted to, I'm not going to because I'm pretty this I know Greensboro pretty well, but if I wanted to, I could compare this data against the zip code, county, state, and the nation just to see how it shapes up or how it compares to other parts of the city or the state or the nation. So down here, it gives me age distribution. So it tells me all the different age groups and like how much of the population make up each age group. So it looks like here, majority of the population is 35 to 54. So majority middle-aged people, which is good. 8.5% vacancy rate. It's not bad. Total inventory, so total housing units is 52,480. Okay. Down here it gives me rent growth, population growth, and employment growth. These two numbers look good. This is a red flag right here. So that would just tell me to do a little bit more research into that because I think that may be including some numbers from COVID. So that would serve as a red flag to do some more research on employment. Over here, I like this. I like this little attribute of Bird's Eye. Breaks down the employment by industry. So right here, it gives you the industry, the number of jobs in that industry and the percentage share of the total job market plus the average wage, which is nice to know. Next, we have our supply and upcoming deliveries. So this is nice to know because A, it gives you a insight to what your competition is doing. Also, if people are building in the area, that to me is kind of a green flag because that means these developers see something here. Like they wouldn't dump millions of dollars into this 130 unit townhome project if they didn't see a future in this area. So to me, that's like kind of a green flag. But yeah, there's really not much new construction going on. 360 units, apartment community. Assume it's probably going to be mid-rise or maybe even garden. I don't know. So 130 townhomes and 360 multifamily units along with these two. And these are affordable housing. So 72 unit and a 48 unit affordable housing communities coming online too. This also gives you number of units, the expected delivery date or estimated delivery date. So all good info to have. Crime and safety analysis. This is one thing that I love about Bird's Eye because brokers are going to stay away from this because it violates fair housing laws. So if a broker is transparent with you about the crime rate in an area and it causes you to go buy in a different area, that actually violates fair housing laws because that's considered steering. Okay? Bird's Eye will give you everything on crime and an elaborate breakdown on crime. So overall grade is C. If you're wondering where the overall grade comes from, there is an explanation right here. Basically, it's graded a C because it's safer than 41% of US zip codes and less safe than 59%. I also love that it gives you the safest area, which is the northwest portion, and the highest risk area, which is the southwest portion. So I really like that. You have a breakdown of your violent crimes, your property crimes, and your other crimes, which these numbers are actually good. This is good. This is average. Gives you a geographic analysis, like we mentioned earlier, telling you where the highest risk zones are versus the safest areas. And I've never seen crime broken down like this, but this gives you the economic impact. So it actually tells you the cost per resident for crimes, which is crazy. Basically, it gives you a total dollar cost of each crime type and then divides it by the number of residents to get this number right here. That's a little bit more than what we typically look for, but hey, I'm not complaining about more info. I'd rather have more than less. It also compares similar safety ratings to different zip codes and higher risk areas. So that's all good to know. Now we're getting to the meat and taters, the rental comps. So the way we built this tool, we wanted to pull HUD's fair market rent for every zip code that we're looking in. So you can have it to reference, but HUD typically displays a higher rent than what you would see in the market. Um, so yeah, the property that we're looking at was built in 94. So we have a rental comp less than a mile away, built in 1996. So that's going to be the best, probably the best comp we have. Okay. We can see each unit type, what the average listed rent is for each unit type, plus the square footage, and dividing those two numbers to give you the rent by square foot. And it also tells you the delta between HUD's fair market rent and this list rent. So that's no surprise there because HUD is typically displays higher rent, like I said. And if you want to view the source, it'll take you directly to the apartments.com listing, so you can verify all those numbers. Okay. We go back and you can see this data for every comp. Just click the drop down and it'll show you that. So, and then down here we got schools. And to be honest, these schools look really good other than the high school, but I mean, it's still average. It's not below average. But Claxton Elementary coming in at 7 out of 10. That's really good. 1.8 miles away, so it's really close too. That's a green flag. And Kernodle Middle School, 9 out of 10, 1.5 miles away. That's awesome. That's gonna matter to parents who are considering living here at this community. So yeah. And Western Guilford being an average high school. So yeah, these two are major green flags, and this isn't even a red flag. It's just, yeah, whatever. So yeah, but that is a breakdown of how we use Bird's Eye for our multifamily investing, and we built this tool to help us find the data that we usually spend hours looking for. So, oh, and that is that.